Welcome to my class. There will be an audio lecture like this one for each unit. Any specific unit may encompass more than one chapter in your book. The text chapters and pages covered will be spelled out for each unit, so you will know what to read to complete the material for each unit. I will make these audio lectures in either Shockwave or Flash or YouTube so that whether you have a Mac, Linux, or Windows machine, you will be able to access the files. Pay attention to the yellow buttons. That is how you will navigate the class. You are looking at the announcements screen, which is the first screen to appear when you get into the Blackboard. The newest announcements will be at the top of the list of announcements. In this picture, announcements have yet to be posted, so there's nothing there yet. The first place to start is the Start Here button, which appears just below the Announcements button. You will only need to go through this section once, but all the information is there to refer to during the entire semester. When you click on the Start Here button, you will see the following screen. There is more to this screen when you scroll down. The area is required for all Blackboard courses, and it should have the very first assignment within it. In my class, you will see a folder with my information in it. You will also see a folder with info about the book and other aspects of the class. You also see the first day activities. This is your first assignment, and it includes reading all the information in the course information section, as the button is now showing, as the arrow shows. The section, which is the button right after this Start Here button, is the course informations. Further down in this Start Here area is a link for your first discussion question, and it is called the Icebreaker discussion forum. I give step-by-step instructions in the first day activities, so simply follow the directions and you will be fine. Now let me click on that course information button and let's look at that area. So here's the top view of the course information section. This section has the syllabus in it, as well as the weekly schedule and grading policy, and information about my quizzes and tests. Basically, anything you could want to know about my class. It's here all semester and available from the first day of the semester. Yes, it is long, but it comes from 12 years of teaching and answering the same questions every semester. I finally got smart and put all the answers here in the course information section. Part of the first day activities is to read all this information and tell me you did so in an email with some other information about yourself. I will try my best never to have any folder more than one deep in my classes. Once you click on a folder, there is no other level under that. Some instructors have folders under other folders, and finding materials a nightmare. My folders will only be one level deep. For instance, if you click on the folder for information about my tests, which you see here, you will see all the information without having to go anywhere else. Let's pretend I clicked on that folder and look at what you will see. All the information about tests and the final exam is in this slide. You can't read it in this PowerPoint presentation, but you are not supposed to. This presentation is only to explain what you are supposed to do. You should read all the information in each of the links that appears in course information. Here we are back to the course information area. Let's see what the class schedule shows when I click on that link. The link that may help you the most is this class schedule. In this slide, you see a schedule from an old class. The info in this slide is not for you. Yours will have the correct dates in it. With your schedule, you should be able to plan the entire semester for this class. I try to plan the entire class from day one so you know what to expect. Every date is in this class schedule. Your test dates, your homework dates, and even the dates that we will have vacation in your school. Here we are back at the first page of the class again. Now I want to show you the most important button in this class. You will be using this button the most. This is the course content page. In the content portion, that content portion contains all the learning resources and all the graded homework. So let's look at that course content area. At the top of the course contents, you will see two discussion areas. Both of these are for students to communicate together and to ask questions about the class. I will check these for questions and provide answers when I see them. If you see a question you can answer, go ahead and do so. You can also see the first day activities, which we already reviewed. In this slide, you can see also two learning units. They are the Learning Unit 1, History of Science and Psychology, and Learning Unit 2, Biopsychology. Each week, a new learning unit with an assignment will be posted on this page. It will correspond to the schedule we already saw earlier. They are organized by chapter in the order the textbook presents the information. You need to click on the chapter you want to view, and all of that chapter's work will appear. Let's look at the Unit 1 in the next slide. To go over Unit 1, we'll take a few slides, so hang on. The top of the page is a link to the discussion forum called Questions About Content and/or Technical Support. This will appear at the top of every single learning unit so you can ask questions easily. If you have some sort of message you need to give to your instructor, just post it in there. In this picture, the next thing you see is a file called What is Truth? Open it and you'll find out. The next folder is labeled the Standard Deviation Curve. Open that to find out how we use this curve in psychology. The next link is for a PowerPoint presentation for the unit. The PowerPoint is the most useful tool for answering quiz questions. Some students print them out and bring them to class to follow along and take notes on the printed PowerPoint. I also provide a PDF, so it makes that easier to print out. My PowerPoints are very text-laden. Some students complain about all the text. Let me explain. There's a federal law called the Americans with Disabilities Act. It requires my class to be useful to students who cannot see well or hear well. If they cannot hear well, then they can get the information from my PowerPoints because they're so laden with text. I am even working on transcribing all of my lectures for that purpose. Let me scroll down to show you some more of this unit's folder. So I scrolled down in the module, and now you see the next link, which is called Audio Lectures. This is my PowerPoints in a video presentation with my lectures. Again, this is for the ADA for students who do not see well. They can listen to the lecture. This lecture material is also great for the internet student who never comes to class. The internet student can listen to my lectures instead of just reading the book or the PowerPoints. For the face-to-face students, if you miss a class, you can listen to the lectures you missed, or if there is a loss of school due to weather or anything else, we do not have to make up the class that's missed. You can listen to the audios that we missed. The next item is a short video about the content in this section to supplement the text and the PowerPoint information. There's also a much longer video, 25 minutes, which was made by a well-known psychologist and made available for free. And this material discusses in much more depth the information than the first one. I find that the younger students like the first short video, and the student with more experience likes the longer video. Just take your pick, whichever one you like. Next, there's a crossword puzzle. In most of the units, crossword puzzles are just for fun, not for grades. Memory is a funny thing. Most students like multiple choice questions because they can recognize the answer that appears in front of them. Most students also hate fill-in-the-blank questions because it requires recall rather than recognition, and recall requires a much better understanding of the material. If you can recall the answer, then you truly know the material well. Crosswords test your recall ability. If you can do the crossword puzzle, you really know the material. So this is a great way to test yourself. Now you know I will include PowerPoints, crossword puzzles, and transcribed and audio lectures as much as possible to help you learn the material. I also provide amusing material such as sound bites, songs, and videos that I hope will help you as well. My general psychology class is the most prepared, but I am working on the other classes as well. Sliding down the page just a little more, in the first module, we come to the alignments information. This lets the students know what graded material will align with which objectives of the class. Below that, we see a link called Paper Quiz for History. Open the paper quiz and print it. Then fill in all the answers on the paper quiz. You will use this paper quiz to fill in the electronic quiz, which we'll see next. Now we come to a dark black line. Everything below this line, and there are only 3 of them, are your homework for your grades. Let's look at them next. This is the bottom of the first learning unit. Again, all the units follow the same organization. At the top of this slide is that dark line that you saw on the last slide. Above that line it states, everything below this line is homework for grading. The first item is the electronic quiz. If you have printed the paper quiz, you can fill in all the blanks, and then you'll be able to take your answers and plug them directly into the electronic quiz. It should take you less than 3 minutes to plug in your answers and then click Submit on the quiz. The electronic quiz will then let you know which questions you got right and which you got wrong. Mark all the wrong answers, go back to the PowerPoint and the text to find the correct answers, and then take the quiz again. There is a quiz in every unit, and when we have tests, the quiz questions, with slight modifications, will appear on the tests. You can take the quizzes as many times as you want during the semester. Your highest score during the semester will be the score that counts on the quizzes. Tests, however, can only be taken once, and they are timed. You can get more information on the tests and quizzes when you read the course information section on tests and quizzes. The next item is the discussion forum. There are 9 discussions in the class. Read the discussion forum section in course information to know how to get credit for discussions. We'll look at them in just a minute. The last item is an essay. There are 9 essays. But once you get 12 points in your essays, you can stop because you reach the maximum number of points for essays. There's no extra credit on essays. The rubric used to grade essays is also included here, as you can see. In the essays item will be a link to an article or other instructions. You will read the required material and then write an essay about the material provided. I am looking for critical thinking skills. Read the course information area titled Student Essays for more information. That's the basis of the class. You can see why the course content section will be used more than any of the others. Now I'll click on the discussion forum to show you what that looks like. Here's the first look at the discussion forum for Learning Unit 1. You will need to click on the link to open the discussion. I do not allow students to create new posts. They must reply to my post. Let me click on the link to show you what the next page looks like. This is the actual discussion that explains what you need to do to get the grade for this homework assignment. Read what you need to do and put together a response. When you are ready to type in the response, click on the reply button, which is right here, and let's see what that looks like in the next slide. Type your answer into the white box, and then when you are finished typing your answer, click on the Submit button. Then do the same one more time as a reply to one of the other students' answers. Remember, to get a grade, you must have 5 sentences or more, and your post must be related to the topic. "You go, girl" is not an acceptable post for a grade. You can post that, but it will not get you any points. This is what the discussion looks like when students post replies. I blacked out all the current student names. You must post 1 reply to my original question and then 1 more post to reply to a student. When you hover your mouse over a specific student's post, you will see a reply button. Click the reply to that student and post your reply. All posts, remember, must have 5 or more sentences to count for a grade. I hope this little introduction helps you get started. Your Icebreaker assignment requires that you listen to this presentation and send me an email with some other information included, including a statement telling me that you listened to this presentation. You should check out the Icebreaker email requirement now. Have a good semester.